Hey guys. Oh,
You on?
hey guys. I'm echoing.
Oh, let me mute myself.
Okay. Hey guys. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. I have AK and Fandom, or as I like to call him, BBM, and T here, and we're going to be talking about Arya and what we feel about the character and where we think she's going to go and so on like that. So I'm just going to let everyone introduce themselves. We'll start in order. So AK, go ahead.
Hello, Governor. Evening, YouTubes. Lovely to be here. I'm slightly under the weather feeling, but I think I'll be okay. And I'm here with my awesome people, Sam, that I haven't seen in a thousand years now. Glad she's back on the scene, and we're going to chat about Arya. So let's go.
BBM.
Well, hey everyone, Fandom D Saint, the artist formerly known as BBM. You're pretty much gonna hear everyone in this panel just say, BBM. So yeah, BBM here. Gonna be talking about Arya. Possibly mention she's probably gonna be dying in season 8. Who knows? Who knows? But once again, thank you for having me, Sam.
You're very welcome. And finally, last but not least, T.
Hey, everybody. And I feel so bad because I'm going to try my hardest not to call you BBM, but I can't help it. But I'm going to try my hardest to call you by your government name, Fandom. But thank you for having me, and let's talk about Arya.
Yeah, I'm gonna try not to call you BBM, but it just like comes off. Like I can't. I don't know. So first things first, I want to get everyone's opinions on Arya because I know some of us love her, some of us hate her, some not that we hate her, but some of us get annoyed by her. So everybody, oh, phone. Sorry, guys, forgot to turn my phone on silent. So I know everyone knows that I love Arya. Arya is my girl. That's my only favorite character. I don't have any more. I like other characters, but she is my favorite. So I don't think my love for her needs to be explained. But go ahead and we'll start with T this time.
She's not my favorite character, but I do enjoy reading her chapters. Um, as far as like what I think of her, I always enjoy her chapters. She's brave. She's more like Sansa. I know y'all hate that, but they're more alike now that I'm reading the stories again. And just the fact that they're able to adapt in any type of situation, especially at that young age. Um, I don't know. I just dig it, but unfortunately, she's not my favorite character. But overall, I dig her and the things that she goes through. I'm excited to see what happens this season with her. I don't think she's going to survive. I know. I'm sorry. I don't think she's going to survive, but I do think she'll be like probably towards the end. But I think she's going to go out like a badass, though.
Okay. Okay, I can agree with you on certain points. It still hurts my heart when you say that she's gonna die. Go ahead, Fandom.
So yeah, just like Sam, she is like one of my favorite characters like on the show. It's Arya, Tyrion, then there's Cersei as my three favorite characters, and I did love her from pretty much from the first season. Just way how she was just different from Sansa, even though someone say that she is similar, but there is more difference than similarities between them, because even then it's like if Arya was still in like King's Landing, I don't think she would have survived as much as she did as much as when it came to Sansa though. But yeah, it's pretty much been like a rough journey for her, and for some people I think that we would just give up, commit suicide or whatever, but she just kept on moving, and I do enjoy her storyline.
Yes, AK, I'm trying to call him Fandom. It hurts, but I'm trying. AK, go ahead and tell us about your love for Arya.
All right. Well, I don't think I need to explain that. I think it's been made pretty clear over the years that she is my favorite character. And while I'm still not a big Sansa fan, I do agree with T that they do have similarities. But again, I agree with BBM also because they're equal to the differences they have. They are two sides to the same Stark coin. That's just the way it is, I think. And if either one of them would have been in the other's place, they both would be dead right now. They're like Liam Neeson. They have particular sets of skills. What Catelyn molded around Sansa helped her, even though it was still poor training. It still helped her to get through. And Arya, being Arya, always underfoot, learning everything that her brothers were supposed to be learning, kind of gave her a bit more street smarts and toughness to survive where she had to go through. So, but that's it. But yeah, she is also, in my opinion, anyway, my humble opinion, the second most powerful Stark as far as the books go, anyways, because they don't show it much on the show. Because baby girl can warg and skin change, and salt doesn't seem to deter her psychic activity because her and Nymeria still connect over the narrow sea. If we think about John and Ghost can't sense each other when they're on opposite sides of the wall. So I think that says a lot about Arya's skill. And on top of that, she can still move her body around when she's skin changing. The only other person that I know in the story that can do that is Varamir Sixskins. And we know how powerful he is. So yeah, now my girl's a little faceless assassin. She's kind of a bit psycho. I'll admit that. I'm not gonna brush that under the rug. True enough, but she's still a badass, and I love her.
Yes, I totally agree with you. Okay, so um, preparing for this stream because I had to prepare. It's been a minute since I've been on YouTube and done an organized stream as such. Um, I had to watch some clips, and I all day I've been watching season 1 because I don't know about you guys, but I completely forgot how much happens with Arya in season 1. So, do you guys want to talk a little bit about what happens in season 1? Do you guys remember what happens in season 1? Yes, I agree. T. Kat messed up big time. Kat was not preparing them for life.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't stand Cat. I can't stand Cat. I'm sorry. But as far as like remembering things in season one, we were talking earlier about, her situation at the Trident with Joffrey. We talked about her going through the learning water dancing, and also her finding out that someone was trying to assassinate her father before. So she was going through a lot just within that first season before like everything really got rough for her when she started going on the road.
Yeah, we learned a lot through Arya in season 1. BBM, you wanted to say something before me and T interrupted you. Sorry.
Oh no, I didn't. You posed a question. I don't know who was going first, so this was pretty much just interjecting. But yeah, a lot of stuff did happen with Arya, and just for those many scenes with her, I knew the show was pretty much saying, okay, yeah, this is like one of the main characters that you just have to be focused with, and I'm actually happy that they actually did that because her character was interesting. Like I said before, just her difference from Sansa. She didn't want to be like the typical girl who wanted to, marry a prince or be a lady or so. She wanted to be her own individual, and I congratulate her for that. And just seeing how she was from Winterfell to King's Landing, witnessing, her father's death, just hearing the screams of her sister during that event, and hopefully, she was going to like journey back home, in which we see that just didn't pan out on happening. And also trying to deal with the fact that because of Cersei, Lady has died. The Butcher Boy is dead because of the whole confrontation with Joffrey. It was pretty much depressing for her.
Yes, I agree. AK, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, so I was talking to T beforehand, and I want to get your opinions on this because I got hers already. But something hit me while I was watching the season 1 Arya clips again. So in season 1, basically everything Ned said ended up coming true. Everything he said about Joffrey to Sansa, about him not wanting Sansa to marry him once he started figuring things out, um, and she didn't end up marrying him. She didn't end up being with him. What he said about Gendry, what he said about, everybody in that whole beginning season, his trust that he had in Arya learning to sword fight. I don't think he'd ever be okay with Sansa learning that, but he was clearly okay with Arya learning that. He saw that she was a little bit different. I personally think from reading the books, the books have a little bit more in it about how he was okay with it simply because his sister was very similar. It's pretty big in the books, like that part of it. But in the show, they don't really touch on it too much. But why else would he be so okay with Arya being the way that Arya is? But I think so. I think I was watching Tony's stream, and Tony was saying, and I think I've heard it somewhere else too, that I think that Sansa and Gendry are going to end up together. I've never subscribed to Sansa and Gendry ending up together ever. Sansa is definitely not, from what I can tell, his type of girl, and I don't think he's Sansa's type of person either. But Ned has a conversation with Arya at the end when he says that King's Landing is a dangerous place. And he says to her, in the same sentence that he says just after he tells Sansa that Joffrey's not the one for her and he's trying to send them back to Winterfell, he says to Arya, someday you'll marry a high lord and rule his castle. Your sons will be knights and princes and lords. And then Arya says, no, that's not me. I think that's not Arya in the sense that she thinks it's not her. The way that Arya is taking it, it's not her. But, bye, Ben. Thanks for coming.
Hey, Luke, see you guys later.
Bye, Luke. See you later. Sorry, I'm not following the chat, guys. I apologize. I think that's not her in the sense that it's not the way that Arya is taking it. Arya sees that as like the way Sansa is. But I think eventually, simply because of the way that everything Ned says ends up coming true, I think that will end up being Arya. Not in the same sense that we see it in Sansa, but I think that will end up being Arya, but she'll be more of the Dany type of partner, where she likes to fight too. Dany is coming in and showing her you can have both. You don't need to be one or the other. So I think that once she meets Dany, it'll be a little bit of a realization to her, especially once she's back with Jon and she sees Dany and she sees how Jon and Dany are. I think it'll click in her head now that she's a little bit older that you can have it both ways. You can be the independent killer psychopath, for lack of a better word, and also be, someone's wife, have a companion. And it doesn't have to be, one or the other. What do you guys think?
Okay.
Okay?
In a sense, I could somewhat agree with you. I do think that Gendry and Sansa could happen because he's got the Baratheon blood. Once all is said and done, I think if they're whether they're still one whole kingdom or they're broken into 7 kingdoms, he's going to get Storm's End and Stormlands. I think that they'll still try to stay with a little bit of semblance of how the governmental structure they have is, and he's going to need allies. One of the best ways to do that is marriage. So him and Sansa, I think, could get married, and it doesn't even have to be out of love or anything. It could just be a straight political marriage. They don't necessarily have to reside in the same area because I don't think Sansa's ever going to leave the North again. that's just she's had her unwanted adventure and she's not trying to leave home at all. Um, as far as Arya going into that, I honestly think Arya is too adventurous right now. Even when this war is over, she's not gonna want to sit still for too long, and she's not gonna want to be tied down for anyone. Like there's a bunch of people that ship Arya and Gendry. I never have. That's not Arya by her own words. That's not Arya. She cares for Gendry, absolutely, but I don't think it'll ever go into romance. And I'm pretty sure I think Gendry feels the same way. I don't think he has ever really looked at Arya like that, and I don't think he will now. They'll still be just awesome friends looking out for each other like they have been. Let's see. What else? What else was it that you had touched on?
I think that's basically it for that part. I have some stuff to say back to you for that, but go ahead, fandom.
So yes, from the old speech you said about, what Ned said about, Sansa and Arya, and to your point with Gendry, I've always there are times I would ship Arya and Gendry, but if like Gendry gets like legitimized and if he like wants to like rebuild, the Baratheon house and such, is like, okay, he would eventually have to like, marry Arya, which again should be kind of become a lady. And it's like she never truly like wanted that. So I don't really see that happening. So now I can now more see Sansa and Gendry, with the point with AK say, you need alliances and stuff. So it's like I see them two now getting married though. But when you brought up your point about with her seeing Danny and maybe she can see that she has like have both worlds, I don't see as much because the way how she saw Brienne, it's like, wait, that's what she kind of like gears towards more than her having both worlds.
I would even say that not only Brienne, but for you guys that have been listening to or reading Fire and Blood, Alyssa Farman, I believe, is the young lady's name, and she, had her little tryst. She always refused marriage that her brother was trying to set her up on. Ended up running away with the Targaryen princess, and then still got bored with that life. Stole some dragon eggs, bought a ship, and went sailing around the world, never to be seen in Westeros again. I don't want Arya to never be seen again, but she has those traits. She already wants to know what's west of Westeros.
She's leaving to join, Assassin's Creed, the assassins with I forgot what the character's name was
Oh,
again. But
she
yeah.
can upgrade to
Yeah.
the Traveling Assassins Guild.
Yeah, defeat the Templars and whatnot. Yeah, that'll probably be like a next goal. I can pretty much see.
Okay, I have a couple more things to say now, including BBM's thing, but I want to hear what T has to say first.
I agree with you guys, but I guess I'm a little different. When it comes to Sansa and Gendry, I just don't see it. If you're talking about an alliance, he already basically is on Stark's side, so that'd be a waste of an alliance to actually make a move that would impact him. But I see more, if it ever came to it, Arya and Gendry more. Now in the books, there are signs that Arya is looking at Gendry with side eye. I'm just saying in the books. In the show, they might play up on it because it seems like time has gone by and they're older now. Who knows? I had something else to say, but I think I forgot it. So, what was the other thing we were talking about?
About how what Ned says ends up coming true, T. We were talking about it before.
Yeah, so he does basically say that, and also Arya told him that that's not her. And to AK's point, we saw her fighting with Brienne. We saw her true nature when she was talking with Sansa. She doesn't really think of like being in that situation, that stature of being a lady. She doesn't relate to it. Even when she was arguing with Sansa in the last season, she wasn't thinking clearly. She was like, we can just kill everybody if they don't agree with us, and that's not how you can conduct business when you're a lord and everything. So it's not in her nature. I don't even think with with Arya meeting to your point, if she was meeting Danny, that she might see that she can be both. I just don't. She leans more towards what Brienne is than what Danny is, because Danny, she's not really a fighter. She just hops on a dragon, and that's kind of different than with Brienne, where she's like a fighter. Like she's training to be that. So I think she would lean more to what Brienne is than what Danny would be. But then, I could be wrong.
See, and I think that fits in also with Arya's two favorite heroes from history, Nymeria and Visenya Targaryen. Those
Yes.
were warrior queens. They did rule, but Arya isn't looking at the ruling part of that. She's looking at they were badass female warriors, and that's what she emulates to me.
Yes, but I think, okay, so now I'm going to get into my little breakdown of what you guys said. So, what I think is basically, Arya's never had someone, ever. No one, not one single person other than the people in history. So, Nymeria, Visenya, Rhaenys, those people there. She's never had anyone that she's seen firsthand that's been able to do both. She's only seen Brienne. And when she saw Brienne, she was like, that's what I want to do. You know what I mean? I'm going to go do that. And that's it. And Brienne kind of reinforced it in her that she could do just that. And Brienne doesn't really have, Arya doesn't see Brienne have any type of love life or anything like that. She just sees Brienne as this warrior person. But I think once she sees Dany come in, only because it'll be under the guise of Jon. So she'll trust Dany because of Jon. She'll be able to see that Dany can Dany kind of is both. I mean, she doesn't fight with a sword. She uses the dragons, but Dany, like Sansa, was never taught to fight with a sword. She had to use the dragons, but she also fought quite a bit. I mean, she raised an army from nothing. So she's doing kind of what Arya wants to do, leading an army of people to get her vengeance. But she's ruling at the same time. And I think once Arya sees that, it's possible, now that she's grown up and she's a little bit more mature and she sees that, you know, she can have everything. And maybe she's thinking maybe she does think back to what Ned said to her and she's thinking, okay, the war is over. I don't have to fight anymore. You know, whichever war it is, whatever. Whether she survives or not, because who knows? I think she survived. Well, I hope she survives. But you don't know. We don't know. Book or show, we don't know. But I hope she survives, and I hope she's able to have a bit of a slightly happy ending. I hope she'll be able to find, even if it's not love, companionship. You know what I mean? Maybe she doesn't have to be in love with Gendry. That's what I see. But maybe it's the companionship of she doesn't want to be stuck in the north. Gendry is someone she trusts. She would never, she thought so badly of Cersei and Jaime because she kind of knew what was going on. I don't see her marrying someone she's related to. Whereas I kind of see Sansa being okay with that. I don't see Arya being okay with that at all in the slightest. So Gendry is the lesser of, Gendry is pretty much the only one she's not related to at the end. That's a major character in the way that I see it. I think there's far more possibilities for Sansa being with so many other people, whereas Arya has very few people she trusts. So if she was going to have that companionship or that relationship, that would be the only person that it would be. Anyone got a rebuttal? Hi, Marie.
When you put it that way, I don't know how can I rebuttal, honestly. So I'll just take it for now.
You have no rebuttal?
But for that one,
I
no.
think we'll just agree to disagree on that, and we'll see what happens. I really don't see her settling down with Gendry or anyone.
Like if they just become like companions, travel. I can see that.
But to be honest, I see Arya dead, so it's kind of pointless. Like
I mean, yeah, that is
it's
definitely
like
a
if she
possibility.
survives, cool. This
Yeah.
might potentially
Right.
happen, but in my head, I think she's dead in season 8 in the book. So it's kind of fucked up.
Well, D&D better write a good way if they're actually gonna kill her off. Because if
I mean,
it's
right.
She's
If they
gonna
anything
go
give
out.
less,
her a
She's
fucking
gonna go out
Barristan
like Summer.
Selmy or Blackfish treatment, I'm going to write a very angry email to someone.
why
And
And
riot? We're
also,
going to riot in
she's
HBO
gonna
or
hold on.
go
wherever
out
Can
like
you
D&D are.
guys hear
she's,
me better now?
Yes, I can hear
Yeah, we
you.
I
heard
mean,
you.
Well,
she's
because
gonna
you
go
said
out
my
like
volume
Summer.
was low.
She's gonna go out like Summer. That's how I think Arya. Arya's gonna go out with a knife in her hand, swinging, and they're just gonna have to attack her with like a bunch of whites. She's gonna get a few. She might even kill a White Walker, but she's probably gonna die.
I don't think it's the whites that are gonna kill her if she does die. I think she'll die some other way. I think maybe wounds or something like that, but I don't think she dies at the hands of a white. Anyone else on theories of potential ways Arya might die?
I mean, anything is a possibility. This is Game of Thrones.
It's true. Very
She
true. But
can literally walk
she's
into
also
a
shown that
hospital somewhere.
she's pretty adept at surviving. So I mean, it's gonna take a lot to kill her.
Yeah, true enough. But I mean, there's a lot coming to Winterfell.
That's true. I mean, but look at what happened with the wave. We all thought Arya was dead. How do you come back from that? That's what we all said. How do you come back from that?
To
And
be honest,
Light
she
armor.
came home.
be dead. She should be dead. That girl was stabbing her, twisting the knife, and then she fell into that nasty water. She should be dead. She's like Jorah, who should be dead too. I'm not gonna go there because I know that's a trigger one for me. Let me stop. Let me stop. Let me stop. Let me stop.
We will save all the Jorah and Sansa talk for another time, T. Another time.
All right, hold on. I gotta stop so I can try to get this mic thing situated.
Yeah, fix whatever
Okay,
because I'm seeing them
how
too.
how about now? Somebody in the chat, let me know. Test, check.
Guys, let AK know because I can hear her fine, but you guys were saying she's low. Marie says it's low, but she can hear you.
All right, I'll try to speak louder then.
They said it's better.
Yeah.
Okay. This stupid mic, I'm gonna
Monero,
have to
thank
invest in a
you.
new one.
Yes, when she said that she was a lot younger, she is older now.
True enough. That
She's
does
seen more
factor
of the
in.
world.
That does factor in.
I mean, and let's be clear here. Brienne is not by any means a non how do I put this? A non-sexual person. She has feelings for people slightly. We see it, little bits of it with Jamie, with Tormund in the show. We see it very slightly, but we do see it with Brienne.
And the other Baratheon dude, whose name escapes me right now.
Renly.
Was it? There we go.
Yes, she loved Renly, but Renly loved Loras.
Yeah, sadly.
Was it Loras?
Yeah.
Loras Tyrell.
Yeah.
The Knights of the Flowers.
Yes, the Knight of Flowers. I mean, and I don't think she's met. Has she met? Well, has she met Thing? What is his? Oh God, what is her name? Theon's sister. What's her name?
Yara?
Yeah, Asha. Asha. Yeah, I don't think she's met her, so she hasn't seen that. Like,
I
she's
don't think she
basically.
ever will at
Oh,
this point.
what happened with AK?
Nope, she dropped out. She said she's gonna hop back in. Hope
Okay.
maybe the volume there would work.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think she's met her, and I don't think she's going to meet her because I think
Maybe in the books. Maybe in the books she might meet her. I don't know.
yeah, in the books she's a totally different character though. Like I think in the books there's more people for Arya to interact with that have different views on things other than just Brienne. That's a woman, Brienne, and in the show it's basically Brienne and Dany that kind of do similar to what Arya wants to do, whereas in the book there's far more people. AK, test your mic.
All right, test.
I hear you
How
fine.
goes the sound?
Chat, how do you guys hear her?
BBMT, can you guys hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Chat room.
I've heard you clearly from the start. I don't know why people keep on saying they can hardly hear you.
Okay, I have a question though.
Go
How are
ahead.
you going to feel? I'm going to say if Arya dies, like the episode. Do you think you might cry? Do you think it's going to be emotional? How do you think she's going to die?
Oh,
If
I'm
she
gonna
dies,
cry. I'm gonna cry like a little baby. Um, I have a feeling she may die this season, last season and all. I'm hoping it's closer to the end. Like I said, after the White Walkers, I hope it's, something else that kills her, and not them. But I hope she survives, really. But if she has to die, yes, I will cry like a little baby, and I hope it's at the end, and I hope it's fandom, BBM. Hold on, don't hate me for this. I hope it's after she kills Cersei because I really think that she is going to be the one that's going to kill Cersei. I apologize. I know
I
you
would
love her.
love to see that. I would love for Sansa to send her down there and kill Cersei. Because Cersei, she's got to go. They made her
Sansa,
way too smart on this show. I think
Sansa doesn't have to send her though. She wants to kill Cersei all on her
I
own.
like the idea of them teaming up and
Yeah,
they're on the same page and be like, all right, it's time for her to be crossed off that list. And I know this is off topic, but I also hope Jamie dies too.
Oh my gosh, they're just killing Lannisters left and right here. God damn it.
Oh, don't act like them motherfuckers don't deserve to die. Cut it out.
I
Okay,
hope
one,
Jamie
Jamie's
Right,
on his
Jamie.
redemption. He's on a redemption
I
plot.
hope.
Come on,
I
come on.
hope. I
Respect
hope.
him.
Listen, BBM fandom. I hope that Jamie dies doing something that's going to redeem him because he makes it such a point of saying that when he reads that book, the Knights Kingsguard book or whatever, the Gold Cloaks book, he says the only thing in there about him is that he's a Kingslayer and he wants to be redeemed. He wants to be known for more than that because he thought he was doing the right thing in that moment. Now I feel like he sees it a little bit differently. At least show and book kind of hint at that. I hope he gets a little bit of a redemption arc, but I think he's going to die doing something to redeem himself.
But back to the Cersei thing, I don't want her to die. Death is too good for Cersei. She should live on without any power. That is the way how she will die. Other than that, I won't accept it. But if someone does kill her off, don't let it be Jamie.
Nah,
If
nah,
Arya kills her, okay, all right, let
no.
Arya kill her.
Cersei's gotta die.
Even though she said like, oh, I'm gonna go kill Cersei, but then instead she goes back home. So maybe she doesn't want to kill Cersei anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, nah. That's a hell to the nah.
She
That
heard that
needs
song
to
from
die.
Ed Sheeran was singing. He's like, you know what? I'm just gonna bounce. I'm just not gonna kill Cersei. There you go. That's the
No,
only good thing why he was there.
she was
Still on
her
that
way
list.
home. Cut
Still
that
on the
nonsense
list.
out. Cersei is on the list, damn it.
Yes.
In what situation do you think Cersei is going to be okay living in exile with no power at all? She would legit kill herself before that happened. So that is a negative. No, she is going to die. And if Arya is the one that does it, I hope she does it wearing Jaime's face.
They have a lot of
that would fit.
foreshadowing of her. They have a lot of foreshadowing of Arya killing Cersei. It is bound to happen, and I cannot wait to see your reaction to it. because
Listen,
that's also, I'm curious how you gonna feel when Cersei and Jamie dies, because I refuse to believe that Jamie, who cannot fight, is going to be able to fight White Walkers. I refuse to believe that. So I'm just curious, how are you gonna feel when they die? Are you gonna cry? Are you gonna record your reaction to it?
I'll cry for Cersei. Jamie, not so much. I'll be emotional a bit, but if Cersei dies, I'll be like, I don't know. I don't know. I'll probably do like a tribute to Cersei stream. I don't know. I'll learn the piano and like write a song too. Maybe I don't know.
You gonna
But
learn a whole ass instrument for this bitch dying.
you're gonna learn how to play the Reigns of Castamere for her?
maybe if it so has to be done. But I don't want her to die. And D&D loves her too much. Come on now. I don't see her
I don't
dying.
think they love her. They love Lena Headey. I don't think they want to lose Lena Headey. But I don't know if you've all seen it, but I have an Arya theory video where I theorize that Arya is the one that ends up killing Cersei. And I've had that video for a while now, and that's like my lifeline. That's the only thing I'm holding on to.
Do me a favor, please,
Yes.
and toss Chrissy of Old Stones a wrench.
Yes, ma'am.
She's pretty awesome at getting links and stuff. So when we reference stuff, you really don't even have to ask. Chris to be on that.
Yes, ma'am. It's done. But yeah, so Marie is in the chat. And if you guys didn't know, Marie actually helped me flesh out that theory a long time ago. We sat up and chatted one night with a couple other people, and she just listened to me rant, and I fleshed out that theory, and then I made a video on it because she convinced me to make a video on it. I think that at least in the books, they don't really talk about this prophecy in the show. The prophecy about what is that prophecy called? The Maggie the Frog prophecy. I don't know what it's
The
called.
Valonqar?
Valonqar, yes, Valonqar. Sorry, I'm blanking. The Valonqar prophecy, you know, when we hear about that, they talk about a younger, prettier queen, and everyone thought, oh, it's going to be Sansa, and oh, it's going to be Dany, and it's going to be who else was it? Marjorie. Marjorie's name was thrown in there too. Is going to come and take everything you hold dear, but someone already came and took everything she held dear. If you remember, and that theory was from when she was a little girl. There was already someone that came and took everything she wanted. That person was Lyanna Stark. At least in the books, not so much in the show. George insists on referencing how much Arya is like Lyanna Stark. It's like a constant thing, at least in the books. That's what made me feel like, this makes too much. There's too many connections here. And then we find out that Lyanna already took everything Cersei held dear. She took Rhaegar. Cersei thought she was marrying Rhaegar. Cersei thought she was gonna, get everything with Rhaegar. She ends up with Robert, who she hated. She couldn't even have his children. And I know there's theories that Gendry is actually their kid. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not sure. Haven't given it much thought. I like Gendry too much to give it much thought. But I don't know. I think that there's just too many coincidences. And like T said, if she does it with Jaime's face, that just finishes the puzzle. What do you guys think?
That would make me so happy just to see that on the screen, and then to see fandom react to it. I would love to see that, because they're going to make it dramatic. She's going to give us a top-notch performance. It's going to be epic. And I want her to, like, we all know that Jamie's dead because somehow he just didn't survive. And then he goes down there and we see him again, just like we saw Walder Frey when she killed them people. I want to see something extra dramatic. I want to hear like a speech about winter came for Cersei, all of that good shit. Yeah. Yep. I said it.
I can't
Winter
say
came
anything
for
else to that.
Cersei. Like winter's my favorite, season. And just saying that, it's like, you know what? I'm back to loving summer now. But seriously, no, you got to stop it. She's not gonna die. She's probably gonna flee King's Landing at the last resort.
Where's she gonna go? No one likes her.
Anywhere.
No one likes her. No
one
one.
likes her, and she has no power outside of King's Landing, and she's barely holding on to that. It is not going to happen. She's not going to want to be anywhere unless she is in charge. Exile is not a thing that she will accept at all.
It's true, she won't. Fandom, you know she
Then
won't.
okay, so she won't exile then. So why can't you just throw her in prison then? Live out her days in a
She
dungeon
will
then.
not.
She's
She will
not
not
going to
take
stand for
prison
that
either.
What are
She
you
don't have
doing,
to
young
make sure
man?
to have that option. They're just gonna throw in prison and then
She
she can
has
live out her
conned her
days.
way out of prison already.
They'll try again this
It's not happening,
time. We'll
BBM.
put more
Come
measures
on, bro.
on it.
I need you to be a little
If
bit
I
realistic. If I can admit that
if
Arya
she
might
lives,
die,
I'll
you
remember
should be able to
this.
do
I'm
this
gonna
too.
clip this. I'm gonna clip this stream too. I got a lot of streams. I'm saying and testifying that Cersei is gonna live, and everyone will keep on saying that she's going to die. And then I'm gonna put up that compilation video, and all are gonna be wrong, and I'll be right.
Listen, I think very few people are going to live. Very, very few people. I don't think Cersei is one of those very few people. I think there's maybe a handful of people that are surviving. I don't think it's gonna be Cersei. I think I would pick a lot of people over Cersei to survive. Arya being the main one, but I don't see her surviving. Sorry, fandom. I
She
don't
did
see it.
dirt. She did way too much dirt. There's no way people are gonna let her live. Arya, if we're saying Arya's going down there to kill it, you really think Arya's gonna be like, you know what? Let me just put her in a dungeon. Arya, you think Arya's gonna do that?
That would be a no.
Thank you.
That's a huge nope. Come on, BBM. You know it's true.
BBM, she can't take the black. She's not a man, and there is no wall left.
They could always rebuild the wall. Come on now, and they'd be like, okay, we're gonna change stuff. Maybe women can take the black, whatever.
They're not
And then
rebuilding
bam,
that
there
wall.
you go.
They're not rebuilding that wall. They're gonna have to find a way to live without it. And yes, Monero, I do think that if Arya does die, she is going to have a second life in Nymeria. I agree with Monero on that one. She will not die and just die. It's not going to happen, at least not in the books.
Yeah, I definitely say I agree with that as well. It's very much a possibility, and I can admit that. Unlike this young man over here.
Okay, so we know how BBM feels, or fandom, sorry, how he feels on this. He thinks Cersei is going to survive. Is there, other than Arya, is there anyone you guys think is going to survive other than, we're not talking about Arya here, just, is there anyone at all that you think is going to survive? And not Cersei. We've already heard that. Thank you, fandom.
I mean, maybe Brienne, possibly. I don't think Podrick will. The boy can barely fight. I don't think he's getting out of this alive. Pretty much like a whole like 3/4 of the North is probably gonna go down. Everybody of importance in the Riverlands will probably meet the same fate. Um, if they get past the God's Eye and they do make it all the way south, it's a whole lot of other motherfuckers that's gonna die. Like everyone has the potential to die. I don't want some people to die, but the reality is there's a huge ass war coming, and this dude can raise the dead. So whether you want to or not, you might end up fighting in his army.
I have a serious question for T, and this is only show related. T, do you think your boy Tormund survives?
No, he's not. I don't think a lot of people are going to survive, but he scared the shit out of me with the bastard battle of the bastards. Like I thought he was gone. Then when we were over fighting the Night King, he almost died there too. They just keep teasing that he's not going to survive season 8. That's going to be tough because I was like, oh my god, like get up, and they had attacked him and he was about to fall into the ice, right, last season. So yeah, I don't think he's going to survive, but I can say that I'm not going to be delusional and say, well, you know what, I think they're going to send him into a dungeon. He's going to just be a prisoner of the ice people.
Shots fired. Shots
Oh,
fired.
T. Marie thinks that Tormund's gonna die and be turned into white. How would you feel about that? Because that would not make me happy.
That's going to mess me up. It's kind of like thinking Hodor might be a white as well.
You know
It's
we're
Oh
gonna see
no.
Hodor as a white
I know.
man.
That's
It's happening.
inevitable.
Clear your
It's
mind,
happening.
people.
Him and Summer, I guarantee it.
That's gonna be rough. That's gonna be.
And
Do you think?
y'all will
Wait,
probably see me bawling like a baby.
hold on, because I watched this episode with I think AK. I watched it with you, and maybe Fandom was there too. Did they burn Rickon's body, or did they bury it?
I would have assumed they would have burned it because I think John will put a statue in the crypts for him, but I would assume that they burned him just like they burned One and all the other dead that was on the battlefield after that.
So here's my continuation question. Since now John knows how they come back to life, do you think that John sets fire to those crypts?
Well, that's an interesting question. Huh.
Just because the crypts keep coming up in all of the the stuff.
I don't think he would do that though, because that puts the structure of Winterfell as a whole at risk. Because once that fire gets big enough down there, you can't control it.
Marie makes a good
that
point.
Would destroy the whole castle eventually.
Marie makes a good point. What if he orders the people to take the bodies out of the crypt?
Yeah, that's a smart thing
that's
to
how
do.
and that's how they
The Night King is
find.
coming, isn't he? So
Well,
it's
maybe
inevitable.
Well, maybe if he orders, and this goes back to Tony's point that he's made a couple of times, if he orders people to take those bodies out of the crypts, maybe that's how he finds whatever's in Lyanna's tomb.
I don't think as far as the show, I don't think that's how it's going to be, just because we already know they're past the wall now and they seem like they're on it. So I don't know if he'll have time to actually do that because he's not at Winterfell yet. Like he's on his way when all of this is happening. So just based off of time wise, I don't think he's going to have enough time to get all of those bodies out to burn them when they're probably going to be trying to get men in, different formations ready for whatever's coming.
I think we come back. When we come back to next season, I think we come back with Jon and Dany in Winterfell. I don't think there's any wait.
Yeah, either way though, the army of the dead is already past the wall and on the move. It's not going to take them maybe more than a day, possibly 2, to get back to Winterfell the way the traveling has been going in the past seasons. Jon's not going to have time to clear all that out. What he could possibly do is for all of those statues that don't have the iron sword on their laps anymore, he could possibly try to replace those, knowing because the myth around Winterfell is that it helps keep the spirits in. I think it helps keep the spirits from being drawn out to be pulled into the army of the dead. So I think maybe he might have enough time to get some swords down there to block, but to clear the whole crypts of Winterfell, that's a lot. There's 1,000+ years of rulers down there. I don't see that happening.
If he saw the urgency to do it, he would have told them to start removing the bodies before he left to go above the wall, because he already knew about the threat and they already was at Winterfell. So if it was something he was thinking of, he would have had them emptying the bodies before he left.
Unless we find out that he already ordered someone to do that, and then when he comes back, it happens. But Marie made a good point. So Marie said in the chat, I think there are White Walker Starks in the crypts. That's why the crypts are cold. Ned senses icy eyes. Hodor won't go down there, and Summer is scared. It makes sense.
Yeah, that's a touch of the Lovecraftian cosmic horror. I don't think it's specifically like multiple folks down there that may be half breeds, but there's one special in particular that is down there, and that's why they feel the cool air. And that one person probably showed themselves to Hodor at one point, and he ran from that spot screaming. And I would think that Summer also witnessed or at least sensed something like that as well. So yeah, for there being like a special someone on of the others down there, yes, but for a bunch of half breeds down there, yeah, skeptical on that one.
And Phil said, I believe there is an other in a prison, like the Night's Queen holding her hostage. Give time to build the wall. I don't know about all that. I'm not even sure if show wise, I'm not sure if there's even a Night's Queen show wise, because they kind of negated that when they showed the Night's King was created by the children, whereas in the book, I think it's going to be slightly different. I don't think there's a Night's Queen in the show. What do you guys feel?
I agree. I don't think it's a Night Queen in the show. They haven't brought anything, no attention, no little scenes, nothing. I think they just gonna stick to the Night King to simplify the story.
Like if we saw like a female like figure within the cave back in the previous season, then maybe I'll give it to you. But like there's like people saying like there's like no hints to it on the show.
There's also a video that Bridge4 did a while back where he basically said like the whole legend stories about some people at the wall and the Night King, like Danny Flint. The whole story of the Long Night is like a cover up where he's where the 13th Lord Commander stands, and it's very interesting. Listen, if you guys want to check that out, Chrissy, if you can find that link, pop it up there for us, please. That was just a sidebar. Came into my head.
Not a problem. And Marie said something. That's why the saying goes, there must always be a Stark in Winterfell. The Starks of old knew the Stark secret. They sacrificed their sons to the others. Again, I don't even... It's possible, but I don't know if we're going there, at least not show-wise. And we're sticking mostly show-wise, because I know fandom doesn't fully read the books, or hasn't fully read the books, at least the last time.
Like y'all don't even drop book stuff. I have no bother to it.
No, the last time you told me I'm not good with the book stuff, so
yeah, you can still do it, but I'm just like, don't hear me chiming in when it comes to like full-on book discussion.
Well, I want to hear you chime in, so that's what I have you here for. So getting back to the Arya of it all, how do you guys think this reunion is going to go? Do you think it's going to go well?
Or who specifically?
The Starks.
For Jon and Arya, I would imagine it's going to be very much like it was with Sansa. They had the stare down, happy to see another person in their family alive. At this point, I think Jon knows that Arya's back. I believe that was exchanging a message or something or other. So he's going to be expecting her, and I think once they get there, she'll be right outside in the courtyard waiting to greet him, and they're gonna run to each other and hug. I see the same thing happening.
Hold up. Monero is leaving. Bye, my darling. I miss you.
99 Monero.
Go ahead, AK. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. I think it'll be the same with Arya and Gendry, and possibly with Arya and the Hound. I think definitely with Sansa and the Hound, they're going to be very happy to see each other.
You don't think, okay, so just going back to the fact that I just watched season 1 clips of Arya and I rewatched that goodbye with Jon and Arya. I think their reunion, just simply from that goodbye when he gives her needle, I think that reunion is gonna be crazy. Like they're just like they're
There will
not gonna know what
definitely
to
be
do.
tears. There will be
Yeah.
tears.
Fandom, any thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with AK. It's gonna be like the emotional scene like we saw when it came to like John and Sansa, but instead of we're gonna get like a conversation about what was it, old Nan's chili or whatever it was. You're gonna see, Arya take out a needle and it's like I had it this whole time or so. That'll be like some type of thing that we'll do on the show.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree that I can't wait for this reunion to happen. Um, just like you said in season 1, that goodbye was so impactful, but then you think about she's always thinking of John when she's making these big decisions, like when she was in the House of Undying, not the House of Undying, but the House of Black and White. She doesn't throw away the needle like they told her to throw away. Instead, she keeps it away because she thinks of John and thinks of home. When she leaves to go to in the first season, when she tries to leave to go to the wall, she's thinking of her brother. Like every time she thinks of home, she thinks of John in some way, shape, or form. So I don't think like the reunions are cool, but I think it's when she sees John that's realized that yeah, now that the whole pack is back together. So I think that's gonna be it's gonna be way more impactful than her and the Hound or Sansa and the Hound. It's because that's been like her guide to go back home was always John, if that makes sense.
Okay, and I have one more question, and I know AK has thoughts on this one. Are we going to get Nymeria in her pack?
I would be extremely disappointed if we didn't. I mean, we know that
And
Nymeria knows
Ghost,
the
sorry.
pack.
And Ghost for that matter, because we haven't seen him.
I would hope Ghost plays a part. I mean, he's fought with John in wars before, so it shouldn't be any different now. He's just gonna have to be extra careful not to get stabbed by random ice zombies. As far as Nymeria, I really hope that it happens. To see Arya like ride into battle on Nymeria's back with this huge ass wolf pack behind her, that shit would just look so epic, and I'm hoping for it. We probably won't get it, but I am still hoping we see it.
Fandom?
Yeah, I hope we do get Nymeria. I could see a situation where we think that Arya is about to die, and then all of a sudden Nymeria and her pack just come swooping in and killing some whites and so. I hope we get to see Nymeria for next season. Ghost? Nope, I don't think so. If
Oh,
we actually see Ghost, I don't know.
hold up. You just made a really good point that I have never thought about before, and now it just clicked in my head. Since the direwolves are from the north, like north of the wall, do you think the direwolves can kill a white?
That's a good question though. Like
I
I
don't
don't
know
think
about
so,
outright
but
kill, but dismember enough maybe that they can't move a lot,
at least have Arya
possibly.
escape. At least.
They've
Yeah.
killed whites before in the show. When Bran and Jojen and all of them were headed up, they got attacked by whites, and Summer was warring, and she was not Bran wasn't warring, but she was attacking a lot of the whites. Also, when they were in the cave, she was attacking a lot. The Summer was attacking a lot of the whites, so it is a possibility. But I think it's going to be like what Pam says, where Arya is most likely going to be in trouble, and it's going to be like a swoop action and out of nowhere. You're not going to see like this big pack. You're going to see the pack of wolves we saw in season 7, where she was just, it was like maybe 8 or 9 of them. You're going to see something like that, but you're not going to see like that big wolf pack like in the books.
Okay. So Yeah, so back to the Arya discussion. So we all kind of have the feeling that Arya is for naught in this world. She is not probably going to last long. But do we all agree that we think Arya is gonna? We all agree Arya is going down fighting, right?
Yeah,
Didn't
I
somebody tell
definitely.
her she was gonna be like found in the ice or snow or something, dead with a needle in her hand? It's lightweight been foreshadowed.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember hearing that on Gray Area's channel when she did a character breakdown or so
Yep.
of Arya. I heard that, I was like, what? That's interesting.
I can't remember where that's from though.
It's from the books when John's actually talking about Arya, her needlework was like messed up, and he was like, you're probably going to be stuck frozen with a needle in your hands.
That's true. Now I'm remembering. Yes, yes, very clearly remembering that part. And then that's before he gives her needle. Um, Also, I never realized how good Arya is with not just a sword. Um, First opening scene where we meet Arya is Arya beating Bran with a bow and arrow, is shooting a perfect shot,
From like 2 feet back behind this dude, and she hits the bullseye.
and behind a pole
Yeah,
because she's
yeah. Baby
hiding.
girl has skills. She does have skills.
So I mean, like it's not just a sword. She can pretty much have any weapon, and she's pretty decent with it. She gets a handle of them. So maybe she's got more in her arsenal once she gets to Winterfell. Um, do we know if word has gotten out that Peter Baelish has been killed by Arya? Does
I don't
Cersei
think we've gotten word of that yet.
does Cersei know Arya is back? Is the better question.
Probably not. I don't see why anyone would put that in a raven and send to Cersei at all, or send to anyone. I don't think, except for like people in the north.
That's true because Cersei never really paid any mind to Arya. I don't think Arya was ever at the top of her list of. It was always Sansa that she was concerned about.
Isn't like Arya like presumed dead or so
Yeah,
in some circles? So I don't think she even would care really.
but I mean, hearing that Arya is in fact alive and that she killed Littlefinger would maybe strike a nerve, don't you think? If you're hearing a story about a girl killing Littlefinger, who's in by all accounts a lord and was on Cersei's side for the most part. You think she wouldn't care?
She might, but she's not gonna go up against Arya for no revenge for Littlefinger. I mean, she might have heard that Littlefinger is dead, possibly, but I don't think she's gonna care that much about it.
Yeah,
Even if
especially
she's
like
told that
wasn't at the
Arya did it.
time like didn't like people already hear like he was pretty much siding like with the Starks at this point?
Well, he was siding with Sansa, not really the Starks.
Those siding with Sansa is pretty much siding with them, but yeah.
And do you think so? I think we've all come to the agreement that we kind of think, for lack of a better term to compare it to, that Sansa and Arya are pretty much the two sides of the same coin. They're basically the same person, they just do things differently. They're the opposites of each other, but they're the same. So, do you think that we're going to see that bickering that we saw season 1 to whatever? Or do you think it's done? They're on the same side. It's hands down finished. Sansa's never going to question Arya. Arya's never going to question Sansa.
Nah, they're gonna question each other. It's within their nature, but I don't think they're gonna be like arguing with each other. I think they're on the same page. As far as like with that they're about their family and they're willing to do whatever it takes for their family. It goes back to the pack survives, that whole thing. but they're always going to question each other. I think it would seem odd that they didn't question each other.
Yeah, I agree with that. They're definitely gonna butt heads again over and over again. That's really just the nature of siblings. But for the very first time for both of them, now what we see is they are absolutely on the exact same page. They might argue, but they're all down for the pack and they'll find a way to make it work every time.
For me, if it was like 10 episodes this season, I would see possibly like a scene or two, or maybe half of an episode where they would bicker a bit. Because from what that HBO clip we saw of how, Sansa says, "Oh, Winterfell is yours, Danny," I can see she would be like kind of like pissed off about this. But then Arya is like, "Well, if John is okay with teaming up with, Danny, I think it would be okay." And then I can kind of see like a little bit of bicker between them about that. But if anything, it probably won't happen.
That's where I was seeing the bickering too, because I think Arya will always trust John. She'll always trust his judgment. She'll always, refer to him in most situations. Whereas Sansa questions everything, and Sansa's going to question Dany. She's not going to like it, I don't think, at least from what I can tell, um, unless Dany can prove to her that Dany can help them. And even then, I don't think Sansa's going to like it. I don't know. I feel like they'll have tension, and I think Arya is going to not have tension with Dany. I think again it'll be opposites, two sides of the same coin, but opposites. I think Sansa will definitely be kind of standoffish. Arya will be like, "Oh my God, you do all these things, and you have an army, and da 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 da, and I want to help, and let me fight, and whatever." And Sansa definitely won't do that.
Yeah, I think Sansa's definitely gonna have a problem with it, but I don't think Arya is gonna hardcore fangirl Daenerys like that though. She's gonna look at Dany and still only see John, so that's gonna be where she puts her faith, not necessarily just in Daenerys and wanting to get cool with her.
No, I think it'll be because of John that Arya will be like that. I think she'll be the type that'll be like, well, if John, agrees with her and John thinks this is a good idea, then why not? And Arya will go headstrong into it, whereas Sansa will be more reserved with Dany.
I think
Unless some
that
type of battle plan is thrown out, I think that she doesn't like because Arya has a mind for battle. So if something sounds whack, she's still gonna call it out.
I think that Arya is going to be suspicious of Danny just because that's who she is. She's not, and Sansa, I think she's suspicious just because John is leaving. He left as a king and is coming back as a lord. So that's going to look somewhat different. That's going to make the other lords feel a certain type of way. So of course Sansa's going to feel a certain type of way, but I don't see Arya just being like, oh, because John's with her now, I'm going to be with her. I think she's going to be suspicious of Danny and maybe check her out to see if she is who she really says she is, just because they don't really trust people down in the South because they know that everything, just because it looks pretty, doesn't mean that it's a good person.
I think at this point, Arya, having been in Essos, has probably heard enough stories and seen enough being with the House of Black and White that the Faceless Men, sorry, that maybe she kind of already knows of Danny, so it's not really. Um, she's more like, oh, this is finally I finally can see the person I've heard stories about for so long now. I don't know.
I,
That's just the
I,
feeling I got.
I think she's definitely gonna play it cool. Like when she walked up, with like her full Arya swag, talking to Brienne. She already knew who Brienne was. She already knew the skill that Brienne had, but she's not. She complimented her skill, but she didn't go overboard with it. And I think I see her being similarly like that with Daenerys. I do also agree with T though that she's definitely gonna pull the sibling card and give Danny the rundown. And if you hurt him, I will fucking kill you and take your face.
Yes, I definitely. I hope there will be some type of a threat there because Arya just seems like that type that she'll be like, listen, he's already been killed once because of some other bitch. Sorry, gotta keep some checks here. Okay, so let's see what's going on in the chat here. Oh dear, BBM. Don't.
Yeah, I've been trying to defend Cersei in the damn chat.
Don't.
He's
Oh,
got a
dude,
partner
it's
in
not
the
worth
chat now.
it. It's
No,
not worth
no,
it.
no. Dying, dead,
She's
died. She
dead.
is
There's
out
no
of here.
way she did all that dirt, blew up the sept, and people think she's going to live. There's no
This is an
reason to
Arya
keep.
stream here.
She was
Not
a
that
It's
man.
an
Cersei will
She
die.
it's an Arya stream, but we've already made it quite clear that we think even Arya is going to die.
Exactly.
If Arya's going to die, what the hell make you think that Cersei's going to survive?
Of all people. Of all
Cersei.
people.
She's been surviving
Cersei.
this long, damn it. She's been surviving this long.
She's been
But
surviving this long by sheer luck and like
She
fortune.
had no one
it's the
but
same
the Mount.
sheer dumb luck that got freaking Harry, Ron, and Hermione like surviving this whole damn time in their
Cersei,
story. In this
Cersei,
one, you're gonna see
Cersei
Cersei
is like
survive.
the Voldemorts of this story.
Man, Cersei wishes she had Voldemort swag. Cut that out. I am
No,
of a
that I mean,
mind.
like in the sense of like she's the not liked character.
Now, I am of a mind of Tywin Lannister. When it comes to Cersei, she is not as smart as she thinks she is. Every last one of her plans backfire on her at some point. She is going to get got. And I've been saying for a couple months now, since Euron came on the scene, Euron, everybody that protects her outside of the mountain and Qyburn ain't no damn fighter, so he doesn't even really count here. But she is gonna be stuck somewhere with Euron, and Euron is going to pull a Rorschach and be like, no, bitch, I'm not here with you. You're locked in here with me. Let me tell you how this shit is about to go down. And Cersei don't even see it coming.
True. Yes, I agree. Okay, I agree. If speaking of that, since we're on his favorite topic, fandom, do you think Cersei is getting her golden company, or do you think Euron is screwing her over?
Yeah, I already see a pattern here, and it's probably gonna have Euron screw over at some point. But that's depending on like how long is he gonna survive this season. Because some people
Well,
say like I can
not
see like
much.
early on. So I
I
don't even
think
know like how they're even gonna do it. It's like is the Night King gonna be defeated and then they're gonna deal with Cersei and Euron, or is like the Night King pretty much the true end game and they're gonna deal with Cersei and Euron, or at least just Euron at most? Because I don't see like Theon surviving that long within the season. I think he's probably gonna end up dying trying to
oh,
save his sister or
Theon,
so.
poor Theon. Feel bad for Theon.
Poor
Um,
Theon, my ass.
I feel
I
bad
do
for
not
I
him.
feel
swear,
sorry for
anyone
Theon.
who's trying to be
I do
redeemed,
not
you
He
feel
don't
ain't
sorry
care.
fucking
for
redeemed
Theon.
either. Fuck that kid.
I'm in the process of reading the second book, and he just took over Winterfell, so I have no sympathy for him.
None. Not a
I
one.
didn't either in that season. I didn't either in that book, but now poor guy has been tortured. And now his sister has been kidnapped by his crazy uncle. Poor Theon, and he's going to die. He's going to die.
You know what would have happened if he hadn't betrayed Rob? He
He would
wouldn't have
have
been
lived.
caught by Ramsay and he wouldn't have been tortured. Fuck him.
It's true. She will die last episode. That's why they call it For the Throne and not
What if
Winter is
she
Here.
gets eaten by a
Oh,
dragon?
come on now.
What if she gets eaten by a dragon? That would be an epic way to go out.
I'm gonna laugh. I'm not even gonna hide it. I'm gonna laugh
If it's
out
a quick
loud.
death, then whatever, so be it. Let it happen through the
No, no, no,
dragon
no, no, no,
again.
no. It's
What
not
if
gonna
she
be
gets
quick. They're
what
gonna
if she
burn
gets
her up
burned?
first, and she's gonna scream really loudly, and then one of them is gonna chop off one of her legs, and it's gonna be vicious, like a
Wait,
raptor.
I swear, if I have nightmares tonight, I'm blaming you
wait.
two, baby.
What if just, by sheer coincidence she gets burned by wildfire? since she loves it so much.
I would laugh just as
Please,
loud.
Don't
please,
do
have it. That would be a good way to go out.
Oh.
She's just having this big conversation with herself, going mad and drinking wildfire.
Right, you know, according to Cersei and her dumbass logic, you know, it worked for, what the fuck was that boy's name?
Oh God,
Bright
the one that
Flame or whatever,
Bright
Arian
Flame,
something or other. Yeah,
Arian,
ex fucking
Arian
dumbass
Bright
brother.
Flame.
Yeah, fuck that guy too. Yeah, that Cersei might fuck around, and because she already said her excuse for everything being okay with her sleeping with Jaime was, well, the Targaryens did it for years. Yeah, well, motherfucker drank wildfire and died too. You gonna do that too? Probably. She might.
I don't know. Okay, in real world, the incest thing is kind of like seeing it on screen is kind of like whoa. But when I read it in the books, I honestly had no feelings about it at all. I was just like, huh, all right, let's see what happens. Keep going. Honestly, that part didn't piss me off. The part that pissed me off was the way that she just kind of nonchalantly told Jaime to take care of Bran, the way she kind of nonchalantly had the direwolf killed, the way she nonchalantly had Ned killed. That all pissed me off, but her and Jaime never really pissed me off. I was never like triggered by it.
Wait a sec. You said Nashville had Ned killed?
Cersei?
Yeah.
It was on her order, pretty much.
Not really. She didn't want him to
That was
die.
No, it
actually on
wasn't on her
Joffrey's
order. That was
It
on
was.
Joffrey.
That was
It
She
was
Joffrey.
on. Okay, it was on Joffrey's order. But who raised Joffrey?
yeah, but
Come
she
on now.
surprised when he did
It
that.
doesn't
That
matter.
was
She
that was
loves
that
an
was
ascendant to the throne.
nature.
I
She was
gotta give
surprised. That was Littlefinger in Joffrey's ear saying, "Be a man," and cut his head off. But
Cersei
she
didn't
was
have
shocked
anything to do with
because,
that.
yeah,
It's true, but I just feel like like the same standard we hold Kat to is the same standard I'm holding Cersei to, and you should have raised your children better.
I mean, can you
I'm cool
really
with that
like give
though.
enough hugs to a psychopath and hope that he doesn't become a psychopath though?
I mean, we could
Yeah,
we
they kind
could
of well the
Joffrey
show
was
Tried
show
pretty
to.
wise they
exposed
kind
of
of hint
who
that
he
he was
was.
born
They
that
tried
way.
way better.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
wish
the kid
they
was
did
cutting
that
out
shit.
little babies out of a cat in
ugh,
the kitchens when he was like 5. Come on, man. He was always going to be fucked up.
She
Marcella and
still
Tommen, they weren't doing that.
OTDA. Yes, I know we're talking a lot about Cersei. I apologize. It's just because
because he can, okay?
I
And
just
you're
like
gonna
trolling
listen.
BBM too.
I always do that every time.
BBM is here. He brought up Cersei. We all got kind of triggered.
I
he,
didn't bring it up. Oh, you
he
triggered
keeps
me.
he keeps
What happened,
insisting
Arya? Kill her off.
he keeps insisting that Cersei's not gonna die, even though we all think that Arya is gonna die, and we're all admitting, yeah, they're probably all gonna die. So we're now messing with him a little bit.
I mean,
So
yeah, I think we've pretty much gone through the whole cycle of Arya. We talked about her origins and her journey, and gave our speculations on how she might end. So it's pretty much an open forum now.
yeah, but
So, quick
we
question. I don't know if you brought it up, but you think
yeah,
like Jack and Agar is gonna like come back next
I
season deal with Arya?
I don't think we're getting Jack in again, but I don't know what's everyone else's opinion.
I don't know that he has a reason to come to Westeros. I mean, I think he did exactly what he set out to do from the beginning. I've always had the tinfoil theory that Arya was being tracked or watched by the House of Black and White for quite some time, even as she was leaving the North. I don't think they ever wanted no one when it came to her. I think they wanted Arya Stark because that Stark magic blood happens to be a hot commodity in this story. So I think the House of Black and White, might have wanted her for a purpose. I think we might see a lot more of that in the book, but for how they played it on the show, I mean, when she said she was going home, Jaqen smiled. I don't think he's mad about that at all. I think he gave her the tools that she might need, and that's it. I don't see a reason for him to come to Westeros.
See, if your battery dies, we all love you. Just, you know.
What
Okay, yeah.
percentage are you on?
I'm on 20, so it's like I'm
You
cool.
know,
But
say your outro now, just in case if you do end up dropping out.
Yeah. Just let everyone know what's going on with you before, just in case.
yeah, just in case it just automatically I popped out. I'm not being ignorant. It's just I can't find my charger. But thanks for having me. I love talking about Arya. I love even more talking about ways Cersei is gonna die. I think we should continue this conversation. We should also go talk about how Jamie's gonna die too. Throwing Jorah out there as well. We can do this as a team, guys.
You forgot about Sansa.
Oh yeah, Sansa can go. Look, everyone can go. Okay, like
You know what I miss?
it's strange to think. I find it harder to figure out who I think will survive more than who I think won't. If that
Listen, I have one thing I missed more than anything while I was gone. One thing. It's a good tea rant about Sansa and Jorah, but mostly Sansa.
I realize I've ran about everyone, but I can't stand Cersei. And the fact that he said that she should just be punished by just losing power was triggering. Like, no, we should find all the ways to kill her. I really hope now that Arya doesn't even kill her. I really think the dragon scene would be epic, an epic way for her to die. Plus, because they say that D&D loves her, it'll be like a fantastic scene. She'll probably talk to the dragon, and then it just goes for her.
Also, just in case anyone is looking for it, I've put everyone's page information, all their information is in the links below. So there's links to everyone here. So if you feel so inclined, please give me a like to show your support and check them out and subscribe to them because everyone here is awesome. But getting back to what AK was saying, um, here's the thing though, show wise, what do you think is so special about the Starks? Because Bran is really the only one that's shown any magical ability, show wise. Book wise, there's so much more. But show wise, what do you think is so special about the Starks?
Show wise, the excuse me, the bulk of it I think just dies down to the North and the love they have for the Starks. Like, I mean, you saw as soon as the Starks started leaving, shit started going downhill. But I think the House in Black and White, they have this mysticism about them, and I would even venture to say that Jaqen, or if he isn't the head of the order, the higher ups in the order have seen some shit coming. Maybe in the flames, maybe they use a glass candle, maybe it's starry wisdom. I don't know, but they, I think, have some tools to keep a watchful eye around all the lands around them. And I think they might have known that there is at least one particular Stark that they could help mold to stave off this fuck shit that's about to happen with
Do you
Army of the
think
Dead and whatnot.
do you think that maybe they saw Arya's abilities, her fighting skills, her skills with a bow, her skills with the knife, her ability to do these things before she even realized she had them?
I think so. I mean, if you put it up against what Blood Raven was saying to Bran, I've been waiting for you, Brandon Stark, and you finally came, though the hour is late. Blood Raven has been waiting for Brandon Stark, the right Brandon Stark, I think, to be born for some time now. And who's to say that there isn't some type of connection like that with the House of Black and White? I mean, I think all of those tunnels and deep caves and whatnots that we see Blood Raven in, I think that's connected to a whole bunch of shit everywhere, even going under the wall. You just need to know the way to get to them. And I think if you dig deep enough, you can probably find your way over to Essos in one of those deep, dark caves as well. And we know how deep down the House of Black and White goes. We saw that in the book. I'm just saying the possibility is there. It's obviously my own tinfoil theory,
Oh, I miss
but I think it
tinfoil.
works.
I miss
I do miss
tinfoil.
tinfoil Thursdays. I am contemplating bringing it back.
I miss my crown. Fandom, do you have any opinions on why the Starks are so special? I know they're not, the Lannisters, but
Well, it's always been like cleared up. Like they've been special from since season one. It's always been like, the Starks with
why in the show?
isn't they say like the first like Night King was like a Stark? That's what I'm guessing. Maybe it's just connecting all the way to that and just seeing how we pretty much need the Starks to like defeat him. I can see that's why they're always so special. That's just how I view it.
I personally think that there has to be. I think the show did a terrible job conveying it because they. Okay, T, love you. See you next time. I hope
All
you
right.
find your charger.
Yeah.
Take
Everyone,
Chat
say
with
goodnight to
care,
you.
T.
T.
Later, everybody.
Night to night.
Yeah, like I
Maybe
was
she didn't
saying,
troll and say Cersei or Jamie dies before she left.
She might come back and put it in the chat. You better stop. You better stop.
T, she loves to troll, so just give her a minute. But like I was saying, there, I think the show did a terrible job because the books explain it so much better what their connection is. But I think the show kind of just made it that they have this connection to the North. But I think it goes so much deeper than that because there's so much in the books, at least, there's so much more respect for the North outside of the North. You know what I mean? For the Starks outside of the North. I mean, in the books, we have the people in Dorne respect the North. I mean, the what the Danes named a kid after Ned. For God's sakes, I mean,
Yeah. There's some hinky things going on in the histories that I need clarifications on. I have questions and concerns because
because
some things don't make sense.
hold up, did you guys both read not Fire and Blood, but the other one? Oh God, what's it called now? I
Which
don't have
one?
the
Prince
other.
and the Queen, Duncan Egg,
No, the other like
Robin,
encyclopedia style one.
With the world of Ice and
oh,
Fire?
the
Yes,
World of
the
Ice and
world.
Fire. Yes, yes.
Because all my books are packed away. I'm moving next week, so I have nothing here right now. Just the shoes. So there's this like connection, and it goes so deep. But if you read the Starks family tree, they really did not marry too many outside families from outside of the North. There
Not at
was
all.
maybe one or two. So from you guys, where do you think this comes from?
That's them Southern ambitions, man. Rickard, I think I don't know what exactly the man had an inkling of in his brain, but he saw something and he got the thought that, well, I got all these kids and there's some random shit coming up. I need to utilize them in the best way possible. And the best way possible, as far as he saw it, was to make connections with the other great houses. Had all of the marriages that were theorized to be able to be happening at that time, everyone basically would have been united against House Targaryen. That didn't come to pass, but during this rebellion, what we found out, Rhaegar kidnapped, quote unquote, kidnapped Lyanna. And where did he go to hide? Dorne, the land ruled
More
by his brother
specifically,
in law.
Starfall.
Starfall.
He was at Starfall at some point or another.
He went there after. The Tower of Joy isn't by Starfall.
No, but he went there at some point or another. The Danes were very aware of what was going on. The
He
whole
went
family,
there
not just
after.
Arthur.
Yeah, I was getting to that.
Yeah.
But why would Doran Martell and Oberyn, especially, because we know how much Oberyn loved his sister, why would they just let this dude sit with his side piece in a keep on their land?
Well, I
Doesn't
think
make
that
sense. And
I
they don't
think
really have a whole lot of bad to say towards Lyanna, except my Oberyn said his sister loved Rhaegar, and yet he still got with a girl from the north with ice in her veins. That's like the
Well,
worst that we
AK,
heard Oberyn say.
AK, I think me and you had this conversation before. I think that at least book wise, show is completely different. They
Yeah,
fucked up Dorne, um, but I think book wise they made it quite clear that the people in Dorne do not subscribe to the same way of life as everyone else. They do not care how many wives, kids, baby mama, baby daddies you have. They don't care if you're gay, straight, a little bit of both. They do not care whatsoever. So I think it was just all right. And that's why I think it's not a big deal. And it wasn't a big deal to Rhaegar's wife. I don't
I
think
know.
she cared.
I know. I was getting to that.
Sorry.
Me and you have this conversation, but everybody in the chat has not heard my thoughts on this.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, Oberyn loved his sister, but like Sam said, Dorne doesn't operate like that. So it really wasn't that big of a deal. And I do think that Elia knew exactly what was going on. She knew she couldn't have any more kids, and she believed in Rhaegar. So this prophecy that he was working towards, she gave him her full blessing. So then this fight happens with Arthur Dayne. Arthur Dayne dies. Ned supposedly takes the sword back to Starfall, and no one's mad at all. They even named a kid after this man. You killed the Sword of the Morning, as far as the story they know goes, but you still name an important child, not just some random kid. This kid's the heir to Starfall. You named him after the man that killed his uncle. Something is behind the scenes going on that we don't know about. And I need answers. Damn it, Gar Martin. Give me my answers.
Fandom, BBM, do you have anything to say about this?
So what was like the original question there? Because that was just like a whole speech
Just
there,
just what
specifically.
why do you think that the Starks, more
Oh yeah, no, I
including
answered
Ned,
yes. Mainly, it was from the connection with Night King that he was a Stark. That's like how I see it.
that's all you think it is? You think that the
Yeah.
South, but the South doesn't know about that anymore. Why do you think in the present day of the story they still have this respect for the North? The South has no inkling about the Night's King. They think it's a joke. Like Tyrion says, Grumpkins and whatever up above the wall. They don't believe it one bit.
They don't. However, House Dane is a very different house than a lot of the other houses in Dorne. They keep the legends fresh in their minds just like the North does. So I think that might factor in just a little bit.
Aside from House Dane, though, why there's just this respect for the Starks outside of the Lannisters. Pretty much everybody, every house has nothing bad to say about the Starks. They respect Ned. They respect the Starks.
There's a couple of them that have some
I
fuck shit
mean,
to say, but most of them are like the cut from fucking Walter Frey's cloth. So
yeah,
kind of don't count, but
yeah, can't count this phrase. The phrase outside of the phrase, and even I will hesitate to say even shit. What's his name? Bolton's Ramsay Bolton's father. What's his name? Roose.
Bruce.
Even he, to an extent, had some respect for the Starks.
Well, I mean, it boils down really to just their actions and how they've behaved throughout history. Not that they've been perfect, because we absolutely know every house has blood on their hands. I am a huge House Stark fan. They are my favorite house, but I am not naive enough to say that they didn't have some hinky shit going on in their history also. But as far as like Roose and all the other Northern Lords, I mean, you know, people, it's like a known fact when a Stark is in control at Winterfell, a maiden can walk down the King's Road in her birthday suit and not be molested. She knows that she'll be okay because if anybody touches her, Starks are going to drop the hammer and somebody's going to die.
Yes, that's
And
true.
that's just been a trait that they've built on. I mean, even like when Bruce Bolton said, the old Starks were hard men for a hard time. Even when they had to be those hard men in that harsh time, they still carried themselves a particular way. And again, not all of them are great, but the bulk majority that really stands out in history, like Theon, the Hungry Wolf, Cregan Stark, the only the only Stark to go south and take his ass back home on his terms after wrecking shop as being a hand for one day, went back home unscathed and said, "All right, fuck the South, I ain't going nowhere else." These guys just have a thing about them that commands respect. I mean, even Stannis, we saw, when he was talking about John being bastard, Stannis was like, I mean, yeah, but that really wasn't Ned Stark's way. So even Stannis knew that there was probably something going on there, but he just didn't get in it. It really didn't affect him any way. So he just let it go. But I think anyone that truly knows Stark characters, they're gonna think the same as Stannis. Like, I mean, all the good shit that we hear about this guy, but this one time, he forgot his honor, as Robert said, and he made a bastard. I,
Yeah,
to
that
some
that
extent, I don't even know that Robert really truly believed him. He just loved Ned, so he took whatever lie Ned told him and didn't think twice about it.
I mean, that's the part that just simply because of everything they say about Ned and the way everyone talks about Ned, it's just, and you're right, the part about Stannis, when Stannis says that piece about Ned, it's so hard to believe that Ned would do such a thing, and yet everyone just kind of believes it without
Exactly.
question.
That's because they know that lineage. They know something's going on, So most people, when they get those rose tinted glasses handed to them to put on the blinder as to what might have truly happened with John, the
Oh,
shit was cool.
hold on. Marie, what are you talking about? Oh my gosh, no, please, God, no. No.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to not 10 points from Gryffindor, Marie.
Oh
Compares the
God.
Stark
Let's
to the
not go there.
Lannisters.
Let's
Oh
not go
God.
there.
Amazing.
I mean, like, let's make one thing clear here, though. The Starks are the original Kings of Winter. The Lannisters were not always the original main house.
And now, wait, hold on now. Correction. They were not always the kings of winter. They fought the Barrowmen. They were in charge of the North first.
I mean,
They took power.
once the Seven Kingdoms were created,
The Seven Kingdoms were functioning
were they?
before that. Yeah.
Am I forgetting? See, this is what happens when
See,
it's
I
like
told you,
a
I,
year
I love
away.
House Stark, but I'm not blind to the fuck shit they pulled. They were not always in charge.
I, it's just my like year away. Forgive me for making mistakes. I apologize, guys. I, I'm just slowly getting back into everything. There's some things that stick and some things that don't.
I mean, but either way, I can't say that they didn't take power for no reason. There was probably some random shit going on, and they saw we had to stand up, rally everybody. I think in the history and lore, Roose Bolton talks a little bit about the Andals, and he said like all of the northern houses were always fighting, petty squabbling kingdoms or whatnots. But when the Andals came, the Stark stood up like, no, bitch, no. Theon rallied everybody under them, and he didn't even wait for them to land in the north. He took his ass to Andalos and fucked everybody up, and then brought their heads back and lined it up right across the coast. That sends a clear message, bitch. Don't come over here. This is what you're gonna get. And I mean, it's something within the Starks character. Like I said, it commands respect to be given to them. Not necessarily commands love, I don't think, because we know not everybody in the North is for the Starks, but they still follow them because at least they're at the best that they can be with the Stark and Winterfell. At least that's how I see it.
I think I think that you're absolutely right. I agree with you. I mean, again, I don't remember everything. I'm really bad at this. I need to get back into my game. But I think that the main thing, my thing about it is the books do such a better job explaining certain things, like the why the Starks are the way the Starks are, explaining the warging, explaining the specialness of them. I think you add in the side stories that we have with like the Danes and stuff like that. But the show just everyone just loves them to love them in the show. They don't do a great job explaining it on the show. It's just like a
Agreed.
love.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah. But they took ownership before that.
Yes, if you guys, please, if you have not hit the like button, please smash that. Show Sam some love. Shout out to all the good folks in the chat. LMR, Gaming, Game Theories with Marie, Phil H, Chrissy of Old Stones was in, Bridge 4 stopped by, Nancy T, Lady of House Blanket. Thank you. I am wrapped up with that lovely blanket right now. Appreciate you thinking of me and sending it to me. AU Pack Mule, the homie. Thank you. It's always great to see you. See, there was somebody else in here earlier. I think I missed. Maybe not. Aaron
Ben
Water,
and
my
Luke.
darling.
We had Ben and
Yes,
Luke in
yes.
here.
Ben and
Aaron
Luke.
Water,
Aaron Water, my love.
Peter Griffin,
Peter Griffin, OTDA, the one true David Adams, always holding it down for us
my
in the chat.
darling. I love him. He's
Always
the
appreciate
greatest.
seeing everybody. Thank you guys for coming and hanging with us and listening to our rambling, because I know we're not, you know, the greatest, most knowledgeable people, but for some reason you guys are here listening to
Hey,
us talk all
Cammy.
fresh. So
Thanks for
thank you.
coming by. Yeah,
Hey Cam.
we started on Arya, and we covered Arya, and now we've devolved a little bit, but we're just getting, our opinions out there. Oh, and we forgot Lady Monero. She was here.
Oh,
She
yes,
she,
yes, yes. My Queen
she
Monero.
left.
Who I'm very happy, guys, if you're going to be at Ice and Fire Con this year, me and T Baby and Monero will be in full effect. Come by and say hi to us if you see us. Give us a hug. We like hugs.
I'm still trying to figure out both. I'm trying.
I hope
Got
you do.
cosplaying this year?
I don't think I will at Ice and Fire Con, but if I can get the right costume together, I will do Visenya Targaryen at Con of Thrones. If I can get it together. I gotta figure out how to make Dark Sister first.
You love Visenya, don't you, AK?
I do. The bitch was bad, man. I mean,
She
say what you
scares
want about
me.
her. Again, she did some hinky shit too, but the bitch was bad. How do you not love her?
She scares me, but I like Rhaenys.
Of course you like Rhaenys, because she's a girly girl like you.
Nah, it has nothing to do with that. Rhaenys was a free spirit. She did what she wanted. She was not tied down by her brother king. She,
Kev, did you ask a question to us on the chat in the chat?
Who? What?
I missed it. I'm sorry. Can you repost it if you did?
Let me see if I can find it.
Bridge asked, do they have metal detectors at these events?
No, they do not. But it is stated in the rules that real steel is not allowed unless you're one of the instructors.
Ah. Yes, so back to my Rhaenys thing. No, it has nothing to do with her being a girly girl. It's more so about the fact that, she just takes what she wants. She doesn't care. Gotta have a little bit of that freedom in your life.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. I mean, but you got to give props where props are due, man. I mean, the only reason we have a Kingsguard now is because of Visenya. Aegon was walking around stunting like he couldn't be touched, and she was like, little brother, bruh, hubby, you need better guards." And she and Aegon, I have all these guards. Oh, pulls out Dark Sisters, slices that motherfucker's cheek. And where were they just now, young man?
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
you. I feel
Yeah, that's
you. But,
badass.
her being the mother of Magar kind of throws me off a
Yeah,
little bit.
Magar was Magar.
I
That's
mean, and
all you can say.
the thing she did to put him in power reminds me a little bit of Cersei and Joffrey, just a little bit. Eh.
They definitely were some fucked up individuals. Magar especially, like there is no way to excuse or even justify what he did, but I am in agreement with the Order of the Green Hand when they say a lot of the stuff that he did, and also in the background there's Visenya and other folks working on his team as well that kept House Targaryen in power. Because if the
Yeah,
Maesters and the Citadel would have had their way, Targs would have been out long before Ares. Long before Ares.
I totally
However,
agree.
still, Magar was a crazy ass psychopath,
I
and he
just
did deserve to die.
the things that like I read about Maegor, it's like the way that I pictured Joffrey if he was allowed to live. Like I think Joffrey would have done the same thing, and it
No,
scares
and,
me.
and if you pay attention to the histories and lores as much as I do, you'll remember there is a segment where Joffrey says the bravery or strength that was lacking so much throughout other Targaryens was not missed in Maegor at all. He champions that dude.
Yeah,
So
kind
yeah,
of
that
scary.
says a hell of a lot about him.
Nah, scares me. Scares me too much.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, he absolutely deserved to die. But like Joffrey, I wish his death would have been a bit more bloody. It seems like you died on the throne, and I think somebody might have just showed you mercy. And Maegor didn't deserve mercy by any means.
No, Maegor deserved absolutely nothing. He was something else. Um, I have to give a shout out to Elamar because I forgot to do this earlier. But Elamar, these are for you. This is what I've been drinking today. Again, it's the Reinhardt's red apple cider, and now I'm on to it's called Forbidden, and it kind of looks like a tree that would be in Game of Thrones, but and there's some
If
crows
that
on it.
tree was white, it would absolutely be a weirwood tree.
Yes,
It looks creepy as fuck. And
and
let's
there
be
are
honest,
crows,
werewoods look creepy as fuck.
all around it. So,
And
and that
that
one's
says
called
a lot.
Forbidden. So yeah, so
And Marie says Maegor earned his cruel name. He did.
you did.
He absolutely did. Yeah, I'm not going to refute that at all.
What are you talking about? I'm sorry. Oh, Legion. Sorry, I got confused there. I was like,
Yeah,
what are you
that's like Game of
talking
Thrones
about?
there. It was a side conversation.
What are you talking about? That's fine. I'm cool with I'm cool with the Marvel stuff too. All good.
Oh, I love Marvel. Did y'all see the freaking the latest Captain Marvel trailer?
No, but do you want to
Oh,
see what my do you want to see
No, I didn't see it.
do you
I
want to
didn't see
see
the
do you want to see
trailer.
what my sister got me?
what'd your sister
I
get
mean,
you?
it's not my favorite character, but it's my second favorite character.
Steve.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's cute.
My favorite character is Winter Soldier, but I'll take a Captain America.
BBM Nancy T just asked you a question.
I was just typing it, but hell, I'll say it here then. Yeah, she was wondering if I got that Barnes and Noble's exclusive George R. Martin, and then no, I was supposed to get it for Black Friday, but by that time I was just too broke, so I've been pretty much delaying it. But I should be able to get it because he really didn't sell out as much as the 3-pack that included him and D&D. So I should be able to get that easily, honestly. The
Oh,
shipping, however, is gonna be crazy.
that's a good question. Fandom, not gonna call you BBM. Fandom. AU asked, "Have you ever investigated why the Lannisters don't have lions like the direwolves and dragons?"
That's always something I always wondered since
I
like
venture to
ever.
say that the white lions, at least, were killed and basically gone extinct before the Lannisters actually came into power. Because remember, the Lannisters, Land the Clever took ownership of the Westerlands from what's her name? House is it, who was it? House Castamere?
Castamere. That's
Yeah.
why it's called the Reigns of Castamere.
Yeah, so there were the lands there and all the people were well established. I would venture to say that those lions had gone extinct from hunting.
I assume so. Because wasn't it a shock that the direwolves were and the dragons were still in existence because everyone thought them to be extinct?
Yeah, the dire wolves especially. I think that there were dire wolves just living like north of the wall. But oh, yep. You're right. You're right. Bridge 4, yeah, lions did attack Tytos. I forgot. That's how the Cleganes got their own house name and
Yeah.
whatnots. You're right. So I mean, maybe that was one of the last though. I don't think, even though they claimed the lion, I don't think they ever had that mysticism about them in their bloodline, so they wouldn't even think to keep these lions as pets like the Starks did direwolves. And I say that because if you look, anytime they show the kennels at Winterfell, those cages are a hell of a lot bigger than you need for a regular dog. And I think there's a reason for that. Pretty sure they always used to breed direwolves at
Yeah,
Winterfell,
I
but
think they
then
always
something
had
happened
direwolves.
and they either died out south of the wall or they just let them go for some odd reason. I don't know. But that, I mean, that would be interesting. That would be interesting to see if they did have that connection with the White Lions.
So, is it foreshadowing Sanders going to kill a lion? Elamar asks.
Go ahead, Cersei, with a damn white
I
lion.
mean, well, technically, Sandor is going to be fighting a guard of House Lannister because I think it's possible that he's going to fight his brother.
Yeah, that's like the
I'm not
closest.
all I'm not all gung ho about Clegane Bowl like a lot of people are, but you know I
You
think there's
too?
still.
Come on now.
I
I'm
mean,
not. I'm
if
not
I see
either.
it, if I see it, cool. But if I don't, I'm not gonna lose no sleep over it at all. If it happens, it'll be a good sight to see. But I mean, I've seen them fight each other already. Meh.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not really
Because it
interested.
was just, what was it, that clash at the attorney?
It was at the hands tourney, yeah.
I'm not
That's
really
just a
interested.
meaningful clash. Come on now.
Eh,
You don't want to
I mean,
extend it clash?
I still don't think that it's a big deal that everybody wants this to happen. I mean, kudos to all of y'all. I'm not trying to take it away from you. It just ain't my thing.
Yeah, I don't see it happening either. But I think it would be very mind easing if the Hound was the one that killed Gregor. But I mean, if it doesn't work out that way, it doesn't
I
work
mean,
out that way.
it would
If it
definitely
doesn't
be
happen, you're
fitting.
gonna see me get my Hound Funko Pop and the Mountain Funko Pop, and
And
pretty
you gonna
much
play
just
fight
do
with them?
exactly. I will do it. Damn it! And that'll be the only time ever I'll play with my Funkos. Damn it!
I mean, it like I said, it might happen. And for those that really want to see it, I hope y'all get it. But it can go either way for me. I can take it or leave it.
I like what Marie just said. She thinks the mountain will die by fire. I hope so too, and I hope it's wildfire.
That would also be very fitting. I mean, it's just like Jamie being the little brother that kills Cersei with the Valancourt prophecy. It's fitting. It's even a bit poetic that it could happen like that. But if it doesn't, meh. As long as the bitch dies, I honestly don't give a fuck who kills her.
Yeah, that with those two, with Gregor and Cersei, as long as in the end they're dead, I'm good. Even like other characters, like I was the same way with like Frey and Ramsay. I didn't care who killed them as long as they died.
As long as they died, exactly.
Did
Like
you
I
guys?
think Ramsay got like the type of death
Oh,
that
that
I
was my
wanted to see
favorite.
Joffrey have. Like, yeah, the poison what was harmful to him and whatnot, but I feel like he should have suffered more.
And hold on 1 second. Let's be clear here because this just hit me, and I've made this point before, but I can't remember if it was on a stream or not. Everyone talks about how Arya is a psychopath and crazy and she likes killing people. Let's not forget that Sansa is just as messed up. Sansa watched Joffrey die knowing why Joffrey died in some respect, and then sat there and watched Ramsay die and enjoyed every bit of it. Not that she shouldn't have, but she enjoyed it just as much as Arya enjoyed killing people.
Right.
It's
I
like
was
almost
about to say,
every
can you blame the
person that
girl
Arya
though?
kills. Every person that Arya kills has always been justified, except for that like one kid in King's Landing who she accidentally kills. But every other person has always been justifiable
Which
from what
kid?
they pretty much done to her.
The kid at the
I don't know.
beginning.
You mean the kid
Yeah,
that was trying to turn her into Cersei?
Yeah,
That was justified.
it was
He was trying
justified.
to turn her into Cersei.
It was
She had to
justified, but
yeah.
I see
She could
what
have
he's
just ran
saying.
away. Come on, she could have ran away, just pushed the dude.
ran
Yeah,
away and he wouldn't have
Yeah,
yelled and called attention to where she was.
I see what he's
yeah.
saying though. It's not like he was on her list per se,
Mm.
but he deserved it. It wasn't quite as justified as her other kills, but he deserved it. But
She
I
was
think
trying to escape and he got in the way of his own volition. She didn't just accidentally stab him. How else was she
It
going
was
to
by
get
accident.
away
It was by
without him?
accident.
no, it wasn't by
She didn't
accident.
want to.
She stabbed him on purpose. She said it was by accident, but she did it on purpose. If you rewatch that clip, I just watched it. That's
I
why I
gotta
know.
rewatch it. I gotta rewatch
Right?
it
Yeah.
then.
How else was
So
she going to get away if she didn't kill that boy?
no, she
Yeah,
could have pushed him.
nah.
He was like twice her size.
Now I gotta rewatch this scene
All
now.
the bulky fat that kid had on him. Arya's a little skinny thing. She wasn't going to be able to just push him anywhere.
Yeah.
He had already tried to snatch her up by the collar. That's
She almost killed Hot Pie too, if you forgot.
yeah. Well, Hot Pie and Lami Greenhands were
Yeah.
kind of threatening her at the
Oh,
time.
they
So
definitely were. They definitely were, but she almost killed him too. So there's a few people that were justified in their actions if she killed them, but they weren't on her list. But like I said, I mean, Sansa takes just as much enjoyment in those two deaths as Arya takes in the deaths on her list.
as well she should have.
Yes.
I was not mad at all. I thought the way she set that asshole up to be eaten by his own dogs that he had starved for 7 days was absolutely honest, poetic, Stark fucking justice.
I think I
Fucking
watched
deserved
it.
it.
I think
Yes,
I
they
watched it
deserve to
with
die,
you.
and I hope he burns in 7 hells.
I think I watched it with you on reaction, or maybe just after, and I
Was that just me and you?
I don't remember,
Yeah,
but I was
I think
so
it was.
happy. I was so happy.
Like
Pretty sure I
previous
applauded
season,
that.
you had people on. Yeah, I
Yeah,
recall.
yeah. Pretty sure I applauded that.
I was like, yes,
I might have even
yes.
giggled a little bit because, damn it, come on, man, that asshole deserved it.
Oh, so much
He
so.
deserved it.
So much so. And the fact that she just sat there. Oh,
I think I might have been upset if we didn't get that little bit of smirk after she walked away. I'm glad that
made me
I mean,
so
and
happy.
kudos to Sophie Turner for doing that, because sometimes actors just do things, and I don't think the director said no, smile or laugh or whatever. I think she read that scene for what it was, and she's so deep into playing that character that she knew Sansa would absolutely have a little smirk on her face and she would get enjoyment from that. Kudos to her for playing it the way she did.
I have a question for you, since we not necessarily love Sansa, but I love Sophie Turner. Since you guys are both fans, what do you guys think?
I dig her as an actress, but
Yes.
you know, lightweight. I don't think this Dark Phoenix movie is.
That's what I was just gonna ask you about.
Really?
Honestly,
They did like two test screenings, and both of them went horrible. So I don't know.
Every time Fox has tried to do the Dark Phoenix saga,
she does look the part.
Screwed. She absolutely looks the part. I will definitely give her that.
Yeah.
However, I'm surprised Kevin Feige is even still letting this damn movie go to screen.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, like the New Mutants with Arya, who was gonna be playing Wolfsbane. How fucking cool was that shit gonna be?
I was excited
but
for
that's
that.
on the shelf now.
I don't know,
because Marvel is basically, well, Disney / Marvel is pulling ranks. Every character
is either gonna come out in the movies in August, or it's gonna come out on Hulu.
It's still not New Mutants, but the next X-Men movie is still slated to come out in theaters.
The Dark
But the New
Phoenix.
Mutants, yeah, the Dark Phoenix. But the New
Yeah.
Mutants, it has been shelved indefinitely, I
I
think.
think that the New Mutants will be put on the Disney streaming service if they get their hands on it.
That's possible.
I don't
That's
think it's
possible.
gonna come out.
I mean, it's just like the Netflix shows. Sadly, all of our Marvel Netflix it has been pulled. I think we might get one
Not
more
all.
season of Jessica Jones. Well, so
Yeah,
far
and
they
then it's gonna
haven't
be
pulled the
cut.
Punisher, but
They
I
haven't?
expect them to. I
No,
don't think they have.
they haven't
I
pulled the
expect them to
Punisher.
pull it eventually, though.
They haven't pulled Punisher. They haven't pulled Jessica Jones, and they actually just released three more, 3 or 4 more of the Marvel movies on Netflix. But those were all under contract previous, so they already had those
Yeah,
agreements set in place.
Mm.
yeah. The movies aren't the thing. It's the TV Marvel Netflix
Yeah,
that I was mainly referencing. I think eventually we will get word that the Punisher has been canceled, and after
Yeah,
Jessica Jones comes out, just like with Daredevil,
because
that's
if
going to be
Jessica Jones
canceled,
was
and
even
it's
in
all going to go
production,
to
I don't
yeah,
think that we would have had a season 3. Honestly,
but I don't. I
yeah,
don't think
exactly.
they. So, what's your feeling on this? I don't think they can do Jessica Jones and Punisher on the Disney streaming service. I think it's too dark
Well,
for
I mean,
yeah.
them.
it's the same argument for them now having Deadpool back.
I don't
I
think they're
think
gonna put Deadpool on there either. I think they're gonna leave it standalone.
I think that Disney likes money,
Yeah,
and Disney likes to make sure all of their brands are their brands. The only one that they really don't have their hands on yet, and I don't think they'll get it for quite some time still, is Spider Man.
yeah.
Sony's gonna
And
keep that
Sony
forever.
knows, right? They know if they keep letting Feige put these damn movies together like he's been, they're gonna just continue to tag team. No, you can't have him back, but we'll let you use him.
I
We'll
think
let
I
you
think
play with him.
that's
That's it.
yeah. I think that's their best bet with the Spider-Man situation is just keep working as a team,
Right.
leave
And
it
I'm
the
not
way
mad
that
at
it
it.
is. No, I like the way that it's been
Tom
going.
Holland's is freaking brilliant. He as of right now, he really is my favorite
Question:
live action Spider Man.
Did you guys watch Venom?
Yeah, I've
Yes.
seen it.
Yeah.
I'm not a
It was
total
it
fan of
was
it, honestly.
it was okay for what it was, but meh.
I haven't seen it yet.
I'm intrigued about the sequel. What they're gonna be doing with Carnage and the actor playing
Yes.
him.
Yeah, it's
Forgot his
Woody Harrelson,
name.
isn't it?
There we go. Yeah,
Yeah. And Woody is just phenomenal at playing crazy characters. So I'm very much interested in seeing what he does with Carnage.
I have to get used to the wig though. Like the wig, I'm like,
Yeah, that
yeah, I
wig
know that's
looks
a
so
wig, bro.
janky. It looks so janky. Oh my
Did
goodness.
Did either of you guys watch Aquaman?
Yeah, I've
Yes.
watched it.
I very
Shockingly good.
thoroughly dug Aquaman. Yeah. The only gripe I have about Aquaman is the music. The score of the movie was great. Like all the like the contemporary classical sounds that we hear in the background, all that was cool. The actual songs that they put in there though did not fit. Neither of them seemed to fit to me.
I'm
But that's
afraid.
just my
I'm
opinion.
afraid to watch. Okay, I'm glad that you guys said it was good. Now I'll watch it. But I was afraid to watch it because other than Wonder Woman, I feel like every movie has let me down since Dark Knight.
And
Pretty
that's
much.
exactly what I was about to say.
Like Dark Knight, the Dark Knight trilogy is my jam. I love that trilogy.
Right.
But
For the
ugh,
DCEU right now, Wonder Woman and Aquaman are winning.
Mhm.
Everybody else,
I'm shocked they got even
jumped
over
the
a
gun.
$1 billion. I was like, what? It's
They
that
did
interesting.
right by those two characters.
yes,
Everything else
yes,
that's in the
Cammy,
DCEU, meh.
yes, Cammy. Jason Momoa is fine AF.
Look, even I can admit the boy is good to look at.
That was like my only gripe. It's like every time you see him in a shirtless scene, I keep on hearing ladies. I'm like, come on now. Everything else was actually great.
Yeah, for anyone that hasn't seen it yet. I definitely would recommend it.
He is
It's
like
very
even
good.
as Cal Drogo, he is a scary, good-looking man.
He is. I mean,
That man is blessed.
shout out to my girl Denise from the Cosby Show, because she
Lisa
saw
Bonet.
that shit, yes, and she snatched that motherfucker up. Matter of fact, kudos to him for snatching her up, for real. For as far as I'm concerned, they can both get it.
Yeah, I mean she's got some
Talk about a pretty couple.
She's got some pretty good taste in men. She was with Lenny Kravitz before him, so. And her daughter with Lenny Kravitz, Zoe, is phenomenally good looking.
Yeah.
That is one extremely good looking lady.
Absolutely agree. She honestly, I don't think she gets as much work in Hollywood as she should. She's a pretty decent actress.
Well, you have to remember she was modeling for a bit there. She was taking a lot of modeling jobs.
That's right. Yeah.
I think
she mainly been like a supporting cast member mainly in her films that I've always kept on seeing her in. Really.
Yeah, she was. I think she was the face of Chanel for a while, or Dior, one or the other. She was getting big money and doing lots of modeling work. So
it couldn't have been Dior. Charlize Theron got Dior on lock.
No, Dior has a few. So Dior has Charlize Theron. They have Jennifer Lawrence. Oh God.
Oh wait, Natalie Portman's one of theirs too, isn't she?
No, not Natalie Portman is Chanel, I believe. Okay. There was another girl, a Spanish girl. I can't remember her name. Jesus, I'm blanking now. She's a model. She's not an actress. She's a model. She's beautiful. And then they have the Bollywood actress. I can't remember her name either. She's also a Dior spokeswoman. So they have quite a few. It's not just one, but I know that she was doing modeling work. So that's why she wasn't taking, it was in an interview somewhere, she wasn't taking big roles because she couldn't commit, because she had already committed her time to doing piece modeling things.
Oh, and FYI, you might want to put in the description of the vid that we do stray from topics other than Arya after like the hour and a half mark.
I will.
Yeah, just put a timestamp. Maybe do a comment or something too.
I will
oh yeah, by the way.
Just so you guys know, we know it was an Arya stream, but we're well-rounded nerds around here, so we tend to get into other fandoms and genres as well.
Yes, I will rewatch, and I will, put a timestamp in there for when we stop talking Arya and potentially Game of Thrones, and start talking other stuff.
It has also been about 2 hours, and
yes.
I gotta jet out.
Yes, well, I was just gonna say, I know that BBM has to get going as well. So he gave me
just around the same marker too. I was like, we can pretty much go until like 9:30 or so.
He gave me a time limit. It's 9:30. I wanted to give everyone enough time to say their goodbyes and anything they wanted to announce or shout out or let everyone know about.
To the newer folks that stepped into the chat, Terry T, Lady Nancy T. I think I shouted you out, but you're worth another shout out, ma'am. Branwyn, Carrie McDonald, Revengeance. I think there was someone else. Was there somebody else?
Yes, there is. I'm just trying to find Terry.
Terry T. I said Terry T.
Candy.
Yeah, Candy was there.
The mother of the stallion that mounts the world. And I say that because Cammy's oldest son is named Rhaego.
Oh.
He's freaking awesome.
I just wanted to give a shout out to everyone who was here, everyone who participated in the chats. Thank you guys so much. I mean, it's been a while since I've done a straight Game of Thrones chat, stream, anything. I don't think I've been on here in a hot minute. I'm really, really grateful to AK and Fandom and Chi for coming in and just talking with me about Arya. It was a good way to get my toes back in the water, even though, it's been a minute. I'm hoping I'll do another one soon. I don't know when. I'm moving very, very soon, like the end of this week. So as soon as I'm all set up in the new house, I'll probably do that. And until then, you guys will catch me in the chats. I will be everywhere. But AK Fandom, do you guys have anything else to say? Oh, and one more point. Phil, I'm still waiting on that date. I'm holding you to it. So, yeah, Fandom, AK, Go ahead.
All right, I guess I'll go first. And I'll thank you guys again for being here and listening to all of our nerdy ramblings. Thank you, Sam, for having me on. It has been too damn long since I've seen your awesome face. BBM, fandom D Saint himself, my brother. It's always fun hanging with you. And we need to get back with live and get this book club thing going again. I think we all forgot because the holidays and whatnots. But that's over now. So we
Oh,
need to get back into the thick of
one
it.
more thing. AK, we have to make a concerted effort to bring back tinfoil.
Yes, yes, it is on my agenda to try to make it work. Absolutely. I am definitely thinking very hard on that. And also Wednesday, I can't remember the time, but if you're a part of Geek Chat 1 on Facebook, it will be posted there. Myself and Lawrence Corner, and I think a couple other people will be on the panel with Gemma, Secrets of the Citadel, on Wednesday on Gemma's channel. So definitely sub and click all of the buttons so you get the notifications for that. Um, my boys, Josh and Alex, has not been doing the Walking Dead comics lately, but we are working getting back into those. So sub to the Walking Bread if you're so inclined as well. Tell them I sent you. Besides that, I think me and the Mad Queens are gonna be setting up some fire and blood discussions coming soon. And you know we always gotta keep that ginger ale flowing for y'all. So keep on the lookout. Sub to Monero's channel so you do not miss ginger ale chat because yeah, shit gets weird. And you know what? That weird is awesome when it comes to ginger ale chat.
I need to come
And
back to that.
you do. You and Timo. Timo, we miss you. I don't know if you're gonna see this,
I miss
but we miss you.
Timo.
So, and again, if you're going to be going to Ice and FireCon, then look for me and the ladies. We're gonna be there, and you know we always love chatting with y'all. So come say hi. Don't be shy. And if you buy your tickets and you don't know already, if you type in the code history for History of Westeros, shout out to them, you'll get $5 off your ticket. So keep that in mind and hurry up and book your room if you're planning on going though, because they are almost sold out. And just I'm usually on other people's channels more than I'm on my own. Come the start of the season though, I will be getting back to doing the reactions as the show is on. So come check me out and definitely hit up everybody that's in the description. All great folks, sub to their channels, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.
And then I'll say once again, thank you for having me, Sam. I remember you saying in some live stream about you was going to do, a live stream about Arya. And then I did call you when you was doing your stream on your channel saying, oh, I'm coming back to live streaming. I was like, okay, I'm guessing you might just, send me a link and hop on. And you pretty much just went, thank you for having me on and of course, AK Alicia Kingston, the one with the fedora, the one with the fan fiction, the one who gives zero fucks about those damn little kids, especially them from the Children of the Corn, and of course the show The 100 because what they did to damn Alexa, like, come on, you could have had her live
I deserve
on.
better.
Come on now.
Mahita deserved better. Damn it, the commander should still live. Klexa forever. Damn it.
Yes, because of the now I have to like go watch The 100 season 1 and 2, the best seasons. And just skip season 3. This is just don't watch it. Just don't watch it. But
Yeah,
yes,
if you don't want to cry, skip season 3.
yeah, pretty much. Just too much stuff happened there. But yes, I am Fandom D Saint, the artist formerly known as BBM on my channel on Fandom D Saint. I think if you even like, search Bro Black Man 94, I think it will still pop up because of the tags alone. But yeah, I mainly do like reactions. Occasionally I do live streams on my channel, but mainly I'm in other people's live streams, kind of like AK. I don't do that many live streams on my channel, but I'll float to others. Less work for me and like as well as just setting stuff up and whatnot. But yeah, I do like reactions to several TV shows like Black Lightning, The Gifted, what else? Legacy, Supernatural. Friday or Thursday is another show, but I honestly can't remember right now though. But other past shows, like I've done Game of Thrones. If you're just into Game of Thrones, I've done like season 7 reaction as well as other shows. I forgot this one. Oh yeah, Marvel's Runaways. I just freaking finished off, which was okay season. It was okay. It's not as bad as Titans because Titans ended miserably to the point that I regret even getting that subscription to DC streaming service. But yeah, thank you for having me on, Sam. Again, chatting with T and AK is a blessing, as well as people within the live chat.
And also, real quick, Sam, before you do the final shout out, I wanted to give a special shout out to my boys, Luke and Ben. They are of the channel Drinks and Knows Things, and they also do a podcast with their sister for It. So if you're a Stephen King fan, head over to what is it? I think like the family of podcasts, the podcast that floats down here. They're doing really good discussions on that. So check them
Even do
out.
Harry Potter as well, I believe,
Yes, and they
right?
also have a Harry Potter discussion going on as well. So look at their go check out their sub them. They're a great group of people, and
I love their
yeah.
streams.
At some point, I don't remember the date, but I will be on there with them talking about Game of Thrones stuff eventually.
And getting back to my little bit, I love them. So yes, go subscribe. They were here earlier. If if anyone wants a specific video or a stream or anything, just hit me up. Let me know what you guys want. I will try my best to get everyone in here. I will try my best to keep streaming. Until then, you guys will definitely find me in the chats. Like I said, it's a problem. I fell down that rabbit hole and I cannot come out. Thank you all for coming by. Thank you for the support. Thank you for showing love to everyone. Hit the like button, subscribe to everyone who was here. Just come by and let us know what you want to hear. And hopefully we'll do this again soon because I've missed everyone so much. But thank you again for coming by. Love you all. Have a good night, guys. Bye.
Lexa deserves
Cersei
better.
gonna live.
Lexa
Cersei's
deserves
not
better.
gonna live.
Cersei gonna
Arya will
live.
He said,
live.